This is a video I feel like is very important for the draft, but also not one I'm excited to make. These are guys I'm lower on the consensus, and I'm just going to list off 5 players today. Now, before we get into the players, everyone I'm mentioning, I hope proves me wrong. I just don't see them in the same caliber as other people do. I have questions about their film, I have questions about their tape, and that makes me worried about them moving to the NFL in the long term. But that being said, I hope everyone I mentioned today has a 10-year plus NFL career and makes a lot of money and can achieve their dream, because I never want to be the guy to go against someone's dream. So let's jump into the video. Kadyn Proctor is the first guy I want to bring up because I've just never bought into him this entire draft process. To me, he is someone that people are helmet scouting instead of scouting his film. He has great athleticism, do not get me wrong. He is a very, very high-end athlete at the offense line position. And I see a lot of people argue you can move him into guard and he'll be good. I don't see it. The reason because he's too raw with his hands and he cannot handle a speed rush whatsoever. You're going to put him on the inside against some of those interior defense linemen that can throw you a bunch of different uses of speed rush. You're going to put him up against a Jalen Carter and think good things are going to happen? No, they're not. He really struggles with his hand work. You're going to have him match up against some of the best guys at hand fighting in the entire world. It's not going to end well. He projects out to me as a guy you would draft or mid-third round to late third round, and you sit him and develop him. That's the best route for Kadyn Proctor, in my opinion. Drafting him to start day one, year one, I think is going to do more damage than good. He's not one of those players you can plug and play, and you shouldn't view him as that. He will go higher than with what I have him graded out as because he is a transcendent athlete at the offense line position. He can get out open space. He can move like one of the best offensive linemen I've seen be able to move for a man his size. He can get out, get his hands on you. Could be very good in the screen game, yes. But then you're going to have to deal with him just getting blown by. You're going to have to deal with him getting beat with his hands. He's not someone you can play and have a franchise quarterback behind because that franchise quarterbacks can get hit and can get injured. Overall, Kadyn Proctor, in my opinion, is too raw to go early. Garrett Nussmeier is a consensus third-round pick. But for me personally, I have him graded out as a 6th-round pick in a guy I probably wouldn't honestly draft. Why? Well, there's a couple big issues I see with his game. Number one is he struggles reading defenses. Now, I get it. A lot of quarterbacks adjusting from college to the NFL, those struggle reading defenses. That's a common occurrence. But he tends to not really be able to diagnose coverages all that well at all. There's not even really that basic fundamental look. It's just throwing it to the guy he wants to throw it to or this offense designed it to. He doesn't really feel like an open thrower. He feels like a spot thrower. He's told to throw in that direction. His arm talent is pretty good for a guy his size, but that's another thing. He's undersized. For as much as people hammer on Ty Simpson for being small, Garrett Nussmeier is a little bit taller, but he weighs less than Ty Simpson at the combine. He weighed 8 pounds less. So all those negative qualities you have about Ty Simpson's size, now he'll hold up in the NFL, those same things translate to Garrett Nussmeier. Now, I believe there's one issue with Garrett Nussmeier that really hindered his development. That was the offensive line he played behind at LSU. LSU, his first year starting, had 5 NFL draft picks on that offensive line. That is insane. And it can develop bad habits for any quarterback. And we saw that with Nussmeier. He had days in the pocket. He could take his time to figure out where the ball would go to. Even if he couldn't read defenses, like I said he struggled with, he had time to wait for the wide receivers to get open because they do have talented guys at LSU. He had all the time in the world. But when pressure got to him, he tended to crumble. He didn't really handle all that well, and you look at the NFL, there will be pressures he's going to have to face. He's going to have to learn to adjust to that, and I just haven't seen that on his film, the ability to do so. When I look at Garrett Nussmeier, I understand what people see with him. He has a tremendous arm. If people can really work on all of his kinks and figure that out and make sure he puts on some weight, good weight, get him right for the NFL, I get it. I truly do get it. but I don't see it translating. So that's why I'm just lower on him than consensus. This is probably a shock to people, and when I use this lower than consensus, it's not because I think, oh, David Bailey is a mid-round pick at best. No, it's because I don't view him as the same light as everyone else. I don't have him as the best pass rusher. In fact, I have him graded out as my 4th best pass rusher. Why? Because I don't think he's as complete as a lot of people think he is. To me, he's still very raw and is only a one-trick pony. Now, that one trick is really, really effing good. It's why he's still a top 25 player for me. That speed rush coming off the edge is tremendous. My concern is, though, he has no power game. When he goes against an offensive line that's going to be able to give him some power, give him some pushback, he's going to struggle at the next level. It's why I'm very much against the Jets taking him at the 2nd overall pick. That's been a big discussion recently. Because I don't view him as the player you can take 2nd overall. I understand the potential is there. He has the ability to become one of those great pass rushers. But he's not there yet. And I don't know if he will be there yet for a couple of seasons. He needs to get stronger. He needs to get more physical at the point of attack. And you are drafting a guy at the 2nd overall pick who needs to work on all that. By the time he'd be ready, the fan base probably will turn on him. And especially New York fans who tend to be a little harsher than other fan bases. David Bailey, though, does have tremendous talent. His speed rush, his hand fighting, it's all very good. His hand fighting could use some more development, do not get me wrong, but it's better than his power game. If he can really just get that power, learn how to get into people's chests, and just provide more of that, he will be an amazing player. But until then, he kind of just feels like the guy you would have as a 3rd down specialist because I don't trust him in the run game whatsoever against NFL offense linemen. And you can't take him in the top 10, in my opinion, if you question that. Keionte Scott is not someone I wanted to put on this video, but I just had to because of one reason. But before I do, I gotta acknowledge the positives because I don't think Keionte Scott is like a you can't draft him type player or a guy that you should be like dreading your team picking. Because Keionte Scott can play football very, very well. He is a nickel corner that has the attitude and demeanor you want. The guy that will come up and make those hits. He'll take on offense linemen in a screenplay if they get out in the open. He'll come up and play the run. He'll calm down on blitzes to get that quarterback and light him up. He is a football player. And everything I just said, he sounds amazing. There's one issue. He's a cornerback that I'm really worried about in coverage. If Keionte Scott was more or less like a box safety, I don't think I'd have one single issue with him because the dude can just play the role of see, hit, see, hit, see, hit. But when I ask him to go into man coverage on a wide receiver, that's when I get worried. When I ask him to do zone coverage on a spot in the field, I get worried. Teams will look at that. They will analyze it. They will pick him apart. His man coverage reps, you could really see teams knew to attack him. His hand placement's not the best. He can get a little handsy. He has issues in coverage. That being said, if your team drafts Keionte Scott, just know you are going to love watching him play the game of football. Just hopefully, for your sake, it's a day 3 pick, not a day 2 pick. I'm going to be completely honest with everyone. I don't get with James Dunker. I don't think he is a good prospect whatsoever, especially because he is an older prospect with so many issues you would see in guys who come out way too early, not later. His handwork is not good. He gets himself in bad situations. He lunges so often in any rep, no matter if it's pass or run, he lunges out, putting himself in bad positioning. And also, he just does not stay upright. He ends up so many reps on his back, and I just watch him over and over again. I do not see it. He is a guy that people are moving into guard. He's not good enough to be a guard. These interior defensive linemen will get their hands on him and toss him around like it's nothing. he will get beat badly on pass blocking reps because he's very, very poor in anything pass protection related. In my opinion, if he was, say, 2 years younger, because he's going to be 23 in May, so he is 23 in my mind, he would be a better prospect because there's more runway you can work with him before you have to get him ready, because you enter your prime at age 25. You have 2 seasons before he enters his prime. Will he be good enough to be a starting player in the NFL in 2 seasons? I don't believe so. He has so many deficiencies in his game for an older prospect that I really would have not any interest in drafting him until probably the 5th round at the earliest. Because yeah, you can work on him, you can take a day 3 flyer. I have no problem with that. But all the talk about drafting him the day 2, maybe move him to guard, I don't get it. It makes no sense to me because when you watch his film, you see more issues than positives. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked this video, hit that like button if you're new to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, and if you have any disagreements, go down in the comment section. I'll read every single comment. I would love to hear who you guys are lower on the consensus, and why do you think I'm wrong about the guys I'm lower on? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again next time.